Coming up tonight on KSL Outdoors. There he is. Nice hit. Man, he just slammed it. It's a midwinter blast down to Lake Powell. Boy, that's a good fish. I'm Adam Eakle, and this is KSL Outdoors.
KSL Outdoors with Adam Eakle is brought to you by your local Ford stores.
Thanks for tuning in to KSL Outdoors. I'm Adam Eakle. Well, it is January when we've got one of these big storms that have rolled in. So what do? Well, we decided to load up the boat and head to Lake Powell where it's a little warmer. We got a bunch of friends that do this every year. They invite us, and so we thought we'd take you along with this year. We're here in Spanish Fork Canyon, and it is white knuckle going over the top. But the weather down at Powell is supposed to be about 50 degrees. Can't wait to get there.
Most anglers don't think of Lake Powell as a winter fishing destination. If you've never been here, though, believe me, you are missing out.
There he is. Nice hit. Man, he just slammed it.
The fishing can be downright amazing, not to mention the spectacular scenery. That's something that a group of firemen from the Wasatch Front figured out clear back in 1981, and they've been coming here every January ever since.
Little striper thumb.
It is surprising to me that more people aren't down here in the wintertime. It's just not within their comfort zone, and a lot of people would rather be skiing or recuperating from the holidays as being down here catching fish. But I think it's because people haven't had the experience.
Well, let's mess some fish up, boys.
Go kick some butt.
Absolutely.
We made it. Full of wet.
Yeah. It was a ride.
The wind is blowing pretty good out in the bay, so we decided to come in the back of the canyon, and I think what we'll do is we'll start trolling, trying to locate some of these striper schools. Dan, I always use a walleye diver.
Okay, great.
Start with a walleye diver, and maybe I'll start with a shad wrap. And, troll around, find the schools. Once we find them, then we can jig them up, maybe.
You said about 100 feet out?
Yeah, I'd say about 100. Oh, yeah, we're marking fish at 30.
How are we going to catch stripers on these poles? I got a fish.
What do you mean, how?
Well, it says walleye on here.
Oh, walleye.
Yeah, so I just don't know.
Little striper.
This is why I brought Adam along with me. He takes care of my fish for me.
Well, there's striper back here. What do you think, flayable? He's not bad. We'll throw him in there. He'll make a turd.
We are finding fish
Oh yeah, more fish. Marking lots.
in 20 to 30 feet of water in the back of the canyons.
There's a fish. Came to the surface. I'm guessing it's a walleye. A little walleye. We'll take that, huh? Nice fillet. All right, we got striper, we got walleye. There's fish in the back of the canyon, so maybe we'll get out the jigs, some night crawlers, maybe some anchovies, get some more fish.
See what kind of damage we can do here. Oh, there we go.
Whoa, whoa! I'm gonna get out of your way. Oh, good
yeah,
striper.
that's a nice fish.
And see the one following him? There's another one following him. In the wintertime in January, huh? How about that?
It's hard to handle.
Here we go.
Our group caught stripers, walleye, catfish, even a few bass using jig and spoons, anchovies, and curly-tailed grubs in the back of these canyons.
Fish.
We noticed, however, that some of the stripers, about a third,
Longer but skinnier, yeah.
were not in good shape.
Fish. Still over there.
That is funny.
Oh, he's a fighter. Yeah, that's a good fish. Healthy one. Best one I've caught. Oh, look at the one following him. Put right there in front of him.
Double.
There's
You're
our
getting
double.
this, right?
There's our double.
We can leave.
Oh, there we go.
Hey!
That's the way to clean up, huh? You can go home now. We got to go fillet.
Yeah, I know. That's all right.
I mean, you got to go fillet.
That's all right, brother.
Oh, those are good fish too.
They are.
Double to end it there tonight.
Fun.
Yeah, good day today. We've
Had a great time.
caught some walleye, caught some stripers, some skinny ones, some big fat ones. These ones aren't bad. They'll fillet up nice. Not too bad at all. Hey, you Idaho boys, you can fish a little bit.
Thanks for the lesson.
Yeah. Hey, we'll have more here from Lake Powell in a moment, but first, tonight's climate quiz question. Officials at Lake Powell fought for a decade to keep out quagga mussels. They lost the fight, and in turn, we all lost. Now it's up to all of us to try and prevent quagga mussels from moving from Lake Powell to other lakes and rivers. Utah state law require you to clean, drain, and dry your boat when leaving Lake Powell using self-decontamination procedures. Our climate quiz question is, if you have your boat on Lake Powell during the winter, how many days must you allow it to dry before you can launch on any other water? Now, if you know the answer, log on to our KSL Outdoors Facebook page, give us the correct answer, and while you're at it, give us a like. We'll then randomly select and announce a winner on our Facebook page the following week. The winner, set to walk away with a Climate Static V sleeping pad. Climate, comfortable, rugged, and lightweight. KSL Outdoors, powered by Ford, will be right back to Lake Powell.
KSL Outdoors is also brought to you by Fish Tech Outfitters, Utah State Parks, Burt Brothers, Sportsman's Warehouse, Evanston, Wyoming, Climate, Intermountain Wind and Solar, and Camp Chef.
Go, get the snow off. Welcome back to Bullfrog, to a snowy Lake Powell. I'm Adam Eakle. You know, what a beautiful sight to wake up to a couple inches of snow, blue sky, blue water, the red sandstone. It's pretty spectacular down here. You ever have one of those feelings though you're gonna just wreck it? Well, today's the day. I had this feeling we're just gonna catch a boatload of stripers. Let's go. We've awoke to just a beautiful morning for fishing. It's cold, about 30 degrees, but just a slight breeze. The anticipation of the day ahead has our crew eager to get on some fish. All right, we found them out here in Bullfrog. The whole screen is literally covered. We got to get on them. There he is. Nice hit. I like that. Hey, for winter, middle of January, huh, Dan? How about this?
Yeah, boy.
Snowy Lake Powell catching striper.
This is hard to handle.
Yeah. Oh man, more people need to come out here and do this. This is a lot of fun. Nice fish too. He's got some shoulders to him. There we go. Welcome aboard, buddy. Get him?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, they're just a little healthier over here for some reason. Must be a little more food. There's one. Oh, God, you about ripped it out of my hand. Yeah, so what they're doing is we're getting these jigs down there, and you're getting right to the bottom. Once you get them to the bottom, you're pulling them up a couple cranks, and you're just jigging it off the bottom, and they're usually hitting it on the way down. So you don't necessarily always feel the bite. It's when you go to jig and you feel weight, or they, like that one, about rip it out of your hands, and you know you got a fish. There we go.
Whoop, right
There he is. Nice.
Whoa, he's pulling good. These are so much fun.
Oh, no.
It's just people that aren't out doing this are missing the boat.
Oh, there he is. Doubles. Triple. Brad's on the front too. That's pretty good fishing there. Look at that, fish coming overboard.
You know, it's best before you put these things in the live well to go ahead and take a pair of shears and cut their throat to bleed them out. It makes a lot better eating fish.
The bite in Bullfrog is non-stop from sunrise to about mid-morning. Anchovies will work, but the best technique is jigging a spoon within a foot of the bottom. My buddy Brad figured out the technique and is catching 2 to 3 fish for every one that I catch. Yep. Brad, Rex, Dan, Ron, and some of the others aren't firemen, but they've been coming down with these guys for nearly 2 decades. It's fun to just sit back and listen to their stories.
It was so much fun, and just being down here with the same group of guys. You dog.
Take that off and I'll catch another. We had a filling this morning, didn't we?
We did. We called it.
Hey, this isn't a giant, but we've caught some nice fish, some nice fillets. A lot of fun down here at Lake Powell. Get down here, bring your family, bring your buddies, and come catch a boatload. No limit of stripers. More here from Lake Powell in a moment, but first, back to the guys at Fish Tech for tonight's fishing report.
Hi, I'm Dan Smith from Fish Tech Outfitters. I have people ask me how to transport my ice fishing rods correctly so they don't get broke. Well, here's two of my favorite ways of doing it. This Rapala case has got 6 rods in it. I carry 6 rods. My jaw jacker sits in there. It has pouches on both sides so you can take some tackle with you. The other one that I like is this new Eagle Claw. It's a hard case all the way. I got 6 rods in it. I've even got my 42-inch rod in it. It has 7 boxes which aren't included. You have to buy the boxes. It's got a little area right here where you can store some more stuff, and it's hard. They got 2 more cases that are like gun cases, but when I get to the ice, I take my rods out of the rod cases and I use this rad rod holder on the back of my sled. The rods just slide in, gives me more room in my sled for other stuff. My ice scoop fits right there, no problem. If you have any questions on how to transport your rods or how to carry them, come on down to the Fish Tech and we'll help you out. Now for tonight's fishing line.
Oh, he had it again. There he is. He came back and hit it again. All right. Man, we are loading the boat. Welcome back to Lake Powell. You know, hopefully we've inspired you to come down and try Powell in the winter. If we have, here's a rundown of our gear. So there's a lot of lures, techniques you can come down here and catch stripers with. Probably the easiest is just come down and troll. It allows you to locate them. Once you locate them, then you can start jigging for them. I have a few favorites here, some that I've gotten from Wayne Gustavson, the biologist here at Lake Powell, others from my buddy Ryan Mosley, who's a fantastic fisherman that has shown me some of these great lures. I think the Wally Diver is probably my most favorite and probably most producing lure. Troll it, 3 miles an hour, and it's getting down about 8 to 10 feet, depending on how much line you let out. The Shad Rap. This Shad Rap is, in fact, in purple has been my favorite. It's got, I don't know if you can see that, but it's got like a translucent, kind of a holographic look. So once you find them, you want a jig for them, right? What do you use to catch them on a jig? Castmaster will work. I would get different varieties, different sizes, different colors. This Cordell, Cotton Cordell, is another good jig and spoon. Wayne Gustavson recommends that one. And this is another one that I picked up at Sportsman's. I'd never tried it. It worked, the double header, but that would be, it's a little lighter, probably worked best in 30 to 40 feet of water. Obviously you saw we did better fishing when there was less wind because we could keep our line going straight down below the boat. I personally like to use braid too. When you use braid, there's no stretch, so that when you hit the fish,
Whoops, right there.
you're gonna get a good hook set. My buddy Brad says that you've gotta have 5, 6, 7 feet of fluorocarbon tippet on your braid. You get that braid and it enables you to get a good hook set, a good hook into the fish, and then the fluorocarbon, of course, they can't see it.
There we go.
Another good way to come down here, especially with kids, and catch a lot of stripers is with anchovies. Cut them into thirds. I like to use the head and the tails. I think they stay on pretty good, but my buddy Brad, who caught most of the fish today, he likes to use the middle portion. I usually chum with that, but he says there's a lot of oils in that middle portion of the anchovy. He uses a 3/8 ounce jig head. It's a little heavier, gets you down there faster, and enables you to keep that line straight down and just fish that real close to the bottom.
It just doesn't matter what you throw down there at.
They're hitting everything. That's a pretty good haul.
Great haul.
We're going to take home just from these fish probably 5 pounds worth of fillets.
Absolutely, yep. Can't wait. My mouth's already watering.
Me too. Hey, we'll be back in just a moment, but first, down a different trail on tonight's Utah Field Guide.
Hi, I'm Chris Haller, Utah State Parks and Recreation Off-Highway Vehicle Program Manager. We'd like to remind everyone before they get out and participate on the greatest ride on earth that they perform a T-clock. No, that's not a Dr. Seuss acronym. It's just a safety inspection that we'd like to remind you to perform before you ever leave your driveway. Also, we'd like to remind everyone to wear a helmet in Utah. It is a requirement for those 17 years of age and younger. And before you go out on the trail, if you're between the ages 8 and 15, we want you to get educated. It is a requirement to have an education certificate whenever you're operating a snowmobile on public lands. Before you head out on the trail, some of the things you can do as far as personal protective gear is to go ahead and make sure you have an avalanche beacon. Just like a smoke detector, make sure the batteries are working before you head out on the trail. And another thing we recommend is for you to carry a probe. The probe allows you to search for a person below the snow line if they're caught in an avalanche situation. And then we also recommend everyone carry a shovel with them at all times, either on their back or on the snowmobile themselves. And we recommend that you layer up. And one final item, make sure you always carry a belt for yourself and or another rider. Make sure you got plenty of fuel, oil, your lights are working, your track, and for more information, visit stateparks.utah.gov/OHV. Right on.
You know, when you come down here in the winter, it's a good idea to practice safe boating, safe fishing. Wear a life jacket when you come down. You know, the water temperature's cold. There's not a lot of boats down here. If you fall in, it's a long way back to the marina. Hey, we hear there's a bunch of snow going on back up north. Let's turn it over to Kevin in the weather department. Welcome back to Lake Powell in the winter. Hey, a quick heads up, the DWR will be hosting a family-friendly, educational, fun, and free fishing experience at Strawberry Bay Marina on Saturday, February 4th from 8 a.m. to 2. No ice fishing knowledge is required, just show up. DWR personnel will be on hand to drill some holes and provide basic ice fishing instruction. They'll also have some raffle prizes to give away. For details, check our outdoors calendar page on the outdoors section at ksltv.com. You know, Lake Powell, in my mind, is beautiful any time of year, but when you've got red rocks and capped by a little snowstorm from last night, spectacular down here. It's just beautiful. Make sure to bring your camera when you come down to Powell. Take a few pictures of your catch, some of the scenery, submit it to our Snapshot contest. You might win our big prize from Camp Chef. Now your turn with the best of the week, our Snapshot of the week. We kick it off with a work trip to Georgia for Kyle that turned into a weekend trip for pigs. Kyle had to work at Robins Air Force Base, but spent one weekend chasing pigs. The guys who took him loved having a Utah boy along on the hunt, as many of them had never met a Utahn. With his lucky King's camo hat on, Kyle bagged not one, but 2 pigs and had a great time. Crystal and the girls decided to head up to the Monte Cristo area and try out their new tracks that they had put on their new Commanders. Crystal says you should have seen the looks they got when 3 ladies pulled their machines off the trailer. Once on top, they retreated to some beautiful scenery. Michael's college-age son was home for the Christmas break and wanted to go duck hunting, so they set out with a boat, only to find the Bear River Bird Refuge frozen over. Heading home, they happened to see a flock of ducks lift up and go back down. They instantly knew where they needed to be. They ended with 3 tired hunters, 3 limits, and 1 happy dog. Dustin and his buddy Rob were out on a late-season duck hunt when they spied some honkers and decided to put out some geese floaters. It's a good thing they did, because a pair came in, both guys shot, and both banded geese. Dustin's even had a $50 reward band. Dustin's bird was banded in 2005, and Rob's was banded in 1996, making it over 20 years old. Dustin says it was an awesome day in the marsh with a good friend. The birds was just a bonus. But our winner tonight went out looking for a moose and bagged an elk. Landon Robinson was scouting for a cousin's moose tag on the Wasatch Extended Unit. He took his bow just in case. At first light, just for fun, he let out a bugle at the parking lot, only to have 3 bulls answer him. His buddy John kept up the calling, and Landon was able to sneak into the middle of 3 bulls and arrow this beautiful 6x5. Landon has had 2 limited entry archery tags and both times ate tag soup. Not this time. A cool story, Landon. Even better shots that has now won you our big prize for having the Snapshot of the Week. Remember, submit your pictures or video, plus an explanation of your latest outdoor adventures online at ksltv.com. The winner each week wins a commemorative 100th anniversary National Parks cast iron Dutch oven and skillet. And the winner is also entered into our Ford Trucks quarterly Facebook giveaway for a Camp Chef pellet grill.
Whether you're hiking with your buddies in the backcountry or just enjoying a meal on your back patio, Camp Chef, the way to cook outdoors.
Well, you guys are soft. Those firemen are still out there fishing, and you guys are already back here.
They got on the water.
That's true. That bite, Brad, we were talking about, it's some of the best bite we've ever had down here.
Yeah, in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bullfrog Bay was really good to us.
I haven't caught a few.
Well, and the reason they're still out there is they're trying to catch fish. We got 4 bags of fillets to clean up.
That's true. I got striper thumb. Look at that. That's a good Lake Powell day.
What, you got thumbs left?
No.
How'd you do that?
I let Dan do all the hard work.
I noticed that.
Yeah. Worth the drive, Dan?
Oh man, absolutely. I'll do it next week.
You're tired, guys. How would it be, huh?
Nothing better than being in great fishing, great weather, and good friends. It's been great.
Good times for sure. Hey, make sure you get out. Don't forget, Lake Powell is open during the winter. Come down here and experience some of this beautiful striper fishing. I'm Adam Eakle, KSL Outdoors. We'll see you next weekend. Good night.